Hello everybody, welcome to the Steckline Report. Just out a few days ago, USDA tells us how many cattle and calves we have around the United States. No big shocking news to most of us in the business. We all knew the numbers were going down. It shook some of the folks in the big cities and the big newspapers. And yes, they alerted the average consumer in this country that beef prices were going to go sky high. Well folks, in just a minute, we'll come back and tell you why they might not go quite as high in the sky as some of these people that don't know anything about the beef cattle business are talking about.
My grandfather came across the plains from Missouri in the 1860s and ran a hotel and stage stop here with livery stable, and it's been in the family ever since. We run probably about 100 cows here and 250 over at the other ranch. I'm sure there are other banks we could have dealt with, but they've been so friendly and know what the ups and downs are in the business. American Ag Credit is like a family for us for financial help.
Folks, the cattle inventory report indicated that total numbers of cattle and calves in this country were down 2% at the start of this year compared to a year ago. And quite honestly, 2% isn't probably the earth-shaking number that some of us thought it could be. It could have been down 3 to 4 as far as we were concerned, because there was a huge area of this country that had tremendous problems with the weather this last year. And we had to get rid of a lot of cows and calves all the way from southern Texas up to the mid part of Kansas, and then clear over east into the Missouri, the Arkansas, the Mississippi areas where there are a lot of cows and calves. But let me give you the quick details that USDA tells us now. Beef cow numbers were down 3% from a year ago. Milk cows actually were up 1%. So you dairy people might keep that in mind. Might have a little bit of a problem here with some of your sales of products because of that, but not much. All heifers 500 pounds and over were down 1%. Beef replacement heifers were up 1%. That indicates to us that we cattlemen aren't so stupid. We can see the price is good and we want to get a few more on the farm if we can raise them. And so that's what's happening there. And I would expect that to probably double or triple in the next 12 months if we've got enough babies out there to do that. Steers weighing 500 pounds and over down 2%. Calves under 500 pounds down 3%. That's going to make it a little bit tough, both of those categories. Coming off a wheat pasture this spring to find enough cattle for the feedlot people, I would imagine. Be a little tight, won't it? No doubt about that. The calf crop estimated to be down 1% from 2010. And it looks like calves born during the first half of 2011 are estimated to be down 1% too, which isn't big, mind-boggling numbers, but definitely feel good as far as marketing is concerned, and everybody's talking about, as I indicated earlier, how high these cattle prices are going to go. Well, if you just took the supply figure for an example, you'd probably say that my land, we probably have a chance to raise this old price another 50% from the current cattle prices. But I doubt that that's going to happen, friends, and the reason is two or threefold. Number one, the general economy in this country has a lot to say with how much beef we can sell at higher prices. Today's prices of beef in the store, tremendously higher than they were 3 years ago, I can tell you that. And there's definitely going to be, and it is happening right now, people are going to go to that grocery store, see that $15 a pound steak and say, you know what, Mama, I think we'll have a little of that stinking chicken this week instead of that, and they'll pick up some of that stuff. Maybe a pork chop or two too wouldn't be all that bad. I sure wish they'd move right on over there and pick up that. But guess what else is going to crank up on us? The people that have been fighting against beef production for years are going to come out with all the tools they probably can get. And here's a pretty good example. In the Wall Street Journal, January the 25th, is this article right here, folks. The Veggie's Dream. See that? The Veggie's new dream, be more like meat. And I want to read a couple of things to you. Makers of meat substitutes such as the vegetarian turkey and the fake sausages are working to more closely mimic the taste and texture of the real thing. Well, folks, at the higher price that we have now for beef gives them an incentive because they can sell their stuff, their junk, for higher prices than they ever thought they could because it's in competition to beef. And so consequently, this is now new ammunition for them to come up with a hot dog that should resist the teeth, I'm reading now from the article, with a burst of juice. The dog bites back, and We've got people like Con-Agra even, who's in this business. Remember, the number of U.S. food products making a claim such as meat-free or meatless grew 21%. 21% just in the last 2 years. So we've got more people in the business, but the meat substitute issue these days is going to be big, and we'll find all kinds of things at the grocery store that are not meat claiming to be. That's it for this Steckline Report.